Welcome to the first ever Zero Thought unboxing and impressions video. Today we are featuring the new lineup of MacBook Pros featuring M3 and M3 Pro chips from Apple. I have a bunch of content planned for these guys, which is why if you enjoy quirky review content, drop a like on the video and subscribe. In front of me here I have both the 14 and 16-inch models. The 14-inch model here, on my left, is in its base configuration, which consists of an 8-core CPU, 10-core GPU, 8 gigabytes of unified memory, and 512 gigabytes of storage. For our 16-inch model, we are also sporting the base configuration, which has a 12-core CPU, 18-core GPU, 18 gigabytes of unified memory, and 512 gigabytes of storage, with this one being Apple's latest Space Black. I'm going to start off with unboxing the 14-inch model first, and while I unpack this machine, let's talk about some of the upgrades and features that are in this new MacBook Pro. We're going to dive into the changes of the laptop shortly, but first we're going to start off with the start of the show, the M3 System on a Chip, or SoC. The M3 architecture is built on TSMC's latest 3nm technology, which lets Apple Silicon enjoy increased performance and features, all while keeping power consumption in check. Apple is stating that for this generation, GPU performance will be taking a front seat with a new feature called dynamic caching. In previous generations of systems, simplified, total system memory would be statically allocated, meaning you would have a set amount of system memory and a set amount of graphics memory, with no ability to increase or decrease resources depending on the need. That all changes with dynamic caching. This technology allows an application or process to make requests for the resources they need, and in return, the M3 hardware will allocate as much unified memory as it sees fit. This means, in theory, your games will run smoother and your projects will render faster because they have access to all the available resources at all times. There's also a new ray tracing chip integrated into this generation of SoC as well. Ray tracing is great for processing shadows and producing dynamic lighting effects.
We're seeing more and more games utilize these technologies in the consumer and console gaming spaces. And without external GPU support, Apple needed to get this feature implemented to stay competitive in the seemingly ever-changing landscape that is consumer and professional graphics technologies.
This generation as well, we are seeing for the first time an AV1 encoder built onto the hardware. A welcome addition given that we are starting to see this tech out in the wild on other platforms. Okay, well, I got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and actually look at this thing because I've put too much thought into the Zero Thoughts. I did not actually look at the computer in the store. I tried to make sure that I was not looking at it and away from it because I wanted to actually experience this for the first time. I currently have a 16-inch MacBook Pro that I am recording with right now. That's on the floor. And it is a nice computer, but it's an Intel computer. And with all the gains and everything that Apple has described, I'm really excited to try out this computer. And this is a wonderfully braided cable. The previous Apple cables that I've used have not been braided, and I'm really excited to see a nice braided cable in here. Now remember, this is the 14-inch model, so we're also going to see a 70-watt brick, I believe. Ooh, this is a little baby guy. I believe this is a 70-watt brick. Let's see here. 70 watts. Yep, it puts out 70 watts. This little guy right here. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. So not really too much more interested in that. Let's go ahead and actually look at the computer because I haven't held one, and other than obviously taking it out of the box right now. And I am really excited to open this with you guys. Ooh. Wow. That is delightful. That is absolutely delightful. So let's see here. So on our left-hand side here, we have a MagSafe 3 port. We have two Thunderbolt/USB 4 ports. And we have a headphone jack. And then flanking our right-hand side here on this machine, because this is the base model M3 non-Pro or Max MacBook Pro, we only have one HDMI port and one SDXC card slot. So two Thunderbolt ports isn't bad. It's for a Pro machine, I would maybe want it to have three, but 2 is perfectly adequate, and plus with the HDMI port here, that's going to give you tons of ability to plug into monitors and set up to workstations. Now, what I'm really hoping to test here is on this 14-inch model, Apple states that it can go up to 4K 240 hertz on this HDMI port on the base M3 model. So I don't have the ability to try a 240 hertz 4K monitor. This guy right behind me is a 144 hertz 4K. So we're definitely going to be trying that on this guy. Opening up the screen here, we have our lovely screen protector here, which is staying on very well here for some reason. And we are greeted with the lovely Apple Hello. Wow, that is a wonderful screen. Now, Apple was stating in their keynote that this screen will do 1600 nits peak brightness in HDR content and 600 nits peak brightness in SDR content. So for people who might not know what that means when you go outside and you have to use your computer, whether you're working on work or you're doing something just out on the road, and there's a bunch of sun that hits your monitor, this laptop will have a much easier time displaying that content to you, and you won't have to squint and really look in and see what you're looking at because it's able to output such a high brightness to compensate for that external light that's going to be on that monitor. So this is going to be a wonderful machine, and I'm really excited to check out the M3 model. But let's go ahead and unbox this wonderful space black M3 Pro and take a look at what it's got. Ooh, baby. All right. This is gonna be fun. Now, I currently use a 16-inch MacBook Pro with 3 external monitors and sometimes 4. So, from what I understand, this MacBook Pro, which is pretty much the exact same price as I paid for my 16-inch 2019, is not able to run all this behind me. But that's what I'm here to test out today, because one of the things that I'm really looking forward to with these reviews is to figure out some of the things that I've been wondering about in terms of display outputs. And wow, this space black is very pretty. Just literal first impressions of it. It is gorgeous. Wow. Ooh. I'm going to check out that black braided cable here in a second, too. Wow. Now that is pretty.
To use English as the main language, press the return key.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Apple. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the I/O on the M3 Pro model, which will also be the same as the M3 Pro Max, or M3 Max. M3 Max. Lots of Pros, lots of Maxes, lots of M3. So we have the same MagSafe 3 port with 2 Thunderbolt/USB 4 ports and a headphone jack. And then on our right-hand side, we are greeted with the same ports with the addition of one more USB 4/Thunderbolt port, which rounds out our total to 3. Now, 3 Thunderbolt ports plus an HDMI gives the theoretical option of 4 display outputs, which is not able to be done by the M3 Pro models, but the M3 Max models are able to put out 4 displays. So we're definitely very excited to try out the M3 Pro model, but we may have to step up to the M3 Pro Max, which is what I'll cover in my review of this guy coming up shortly. Before we get to that, though, let's go ahead and just open her up real quick. Oh, we're getting the same startup noise. And that is a beautiful looking computer here. Absolutely stunning. Now, I have my current 16-inch recording right now, but just as a feel, just from an initial feel standpoint, I'm really liking the weight. It feels very similar to the outgoing model that I've been using. Not that there would be much change anyway, since it's an aluminum chassis.
English is the main language.
Thank you,
Press the
Apple.
return key.
Thank you. No, I will not. It's very nice in the hands. The keyboard definitely feels different than what I'm used to on the 2019. I'm really excited to get typing on it. I've usually been able to keep around 50 to 70 words per minute on the MacBook Pro that I've currently been using, and so to keep a similar words per minute on a laptop is really good, I think. Just any other additional thoughts? I have always been a big fan of the 4 Thunderbolt ports on the Intel MacBook Pro 16-inch. That has never been a problem with me in regards to do I have to have the right dongles. And while I'm slightly disappointed at the 3 Thunderbolt ports on the 16-inch model, I'm okay with that, with the addition of an HDMI port, because that was some of the flexibility that I was using with that 4th Thunderbolt port, and so just to have a built-in HDMI brings along a lot of convenience. So I think that's going to wrap up this first initial unboxing and impressions video. I'm really blown away by how nice these laptops feel. They feel so much nicer than than my old 16. Just with the rounded edges, it's a really nice package, and I'm really excited to test these out. I'm going to be doing comparison videos between this 16-inch MacBook Pro and my 2019 Intel MacBook Pro. So get ready to check that out. We're also going to be doing a comparison between the 14-inch MacBook Pro with the M3 chip versus a 2012 Mac Pro. I have had that machine since new and have been using it with various capacities. It's currently right now Wicked Motive's editing machine. And so I think to do a nice comparison between what you can expect with the M3 coming from a Mac Pro, which is a professional workstation from 2012, is really exciting and going to provide some unique perspective. So if you liked this video, go ahead and drop a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you in our next video. And for this time, peace out.